Welcome to the gates of hell.
Hey everyone, for today's video, I made a poll and you guys voted to see a video on the accessories from Bayonetta. I know it's been a while since the last video, a bunch of stuff has been going on, but I'm all good now, so let's move on to the subject of the video. Accessories in the Bayonetta series are here to enhance your gameplay by allowing you to do a variety of different things, such as increasing your defensive capabilities, helping you with witch time, or being useless. Bayonetta equips accessories as bracelets or as earrings for the most part, depending on the accessory and the game. Design-wise, the accessories mostly reference in-game witches of different regions from all over the world. Pulley's butterfly is a turquoise butterfly-shaped bracelet with gold adornments, teardrop-shaped coral, and small red tassels attached to charms on each of the wings tips. In Bayonetta 3, Pulley's butterfly is an earring and it gains a red ribbon with a turquoise stone that is used to attach to the ear. The description goes, "It is said that long ago, the witch Durga crafted this treasure while in the service of the Queen of Lhasa, hoping that the butterfly would give users divine protection. Butterflies of protection flutter around the bracelet's user, absorbing attacks on their behalf before breaking up." The description mentions the witch Durga as the creator of Pulley's butterfly. Durga is a reference to the opera of the same name by Giacomo Puccini, who also did Madama Butterfly. The opera is based on the play of the same name by Italian playwright Carlo Gozzi. This opera was his last one, as he died before finishing it in 1924. The opera was finished in 1926 by Franco Alfano. The opera is set in Peking, China, and is about Prince Calaf, who falls in love with Princess Turandot, who does not want to be wed to a prince, but at the end of the play she feels love for the first time. The Queen of Lhasa is a reference to the city of Lhasa, which is the capital of Tibet. The concept art shows that the design of Pulley's butterfly is inspired by Turandot, as previously mentioned, but also by Tibetan accessories in Jingju, which is also known as Peking opera. It is also shown here that Pulley's butterfly was used at some point by Yang Guifei, one of the four beauties of ancient China and the beloved consort of Emperor Xuanzong of Tang. It was also used by Wu Zetian, the de facto ruler of the Tang dynasty from 665 to 705, and she was the only female sovereign in the history of China widely regarded as legitimate. The Infernal Communicator is a gold skull-shaped two-way wrist transceiver with glowing red eyes. It has a dial to change the frequency and an antenna. In Bayonetta 3, it takes the form of an earring that looks the same, but it gains a gold chain with a post at the top to be able to attach to the ear. The description goes, "Used to summon the infamous band of demon youth known as the Little Devils, this item allows communication with these residents of Purgatorio. By using this magical device, one is able to temporarily contract the Little Devils, calling upon their power to attack one's foes. Summoned by the Communicator are the Little Devils, the followers of King Zero. I have spoken about them on my channel in my Infernal Demons video, but a cool fun fact one of you told me is that the Little Devils may reference the Stand Sex Pistols from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They resemble 6 bullets, each numbered 1 to 7 on their foreheads, skipping the 4 just like the Little Devils. The reason behind skipping the number 4 is possibly tetraphobia, which is brought on from superstition of the number 4 because it sounds like death in different Eastern languages. As such, the superstition is more common in East Asian nations. Another thing of note is that the description shows that they are residents of Purgatorio, which means while they are infernal demons, they do not reside in Inferno. The concept art shows that the Infernal Communicator was designed to have a steampunk aesthetic and was made by an English witch. It also reveals that the Little Devils were born during the British Industrial Revolution, which started around 1760. Also shown are instructions on how to use the Infernal Communicator, which isn't followed in-game as the Little Devils are summoned when Bayonetta snaps her fingers. Selene's light is a gold brace of the world showing the Atlantic Ocean with a beetle with a purple moon on it holding the world. In Bayonetta 3, the earring is just the world being held up by the beetle with a ring on top of the world. The description goes, "An ancient brace crafted by the Egyptian witch Cleopatra. When its wearer is attacked, witch time will be instantly triggered, expending magical power. As leader of the Egyptian practitioners of magic, Cleopatra developed this guard to assist those who had trouble grasping the finer points of witch time. Selene's light is named after Selene, the Greek goddess and personification of the moon. Selene was also the second name of Cleopatra's only daughter, Cleopatra Selene II. Speaking of Cleopatra, Cleopatra VII Philopator was the queen of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt, and she was the last active ruler. There was propaganda and rumors that shaped the view of Cleopatra in her time. One rumor was that she brainwashed Mark Antony with witchcraft and sorcery. The design of Selene's light references Khepri, the scarab beetle-faced god of the morning sun. The accessory resembles Khepri when in his scarab beetle form holding up the sun. The concept art shows that the scarab beetle was meant to spin the world when it was activated. The ancient witch mentioned here could be referencing the Sultana Shajar al-Dur, the only female Muslim ruler of Egypt. She has a mausoleum in Cairo, the capital of Egypt. The Evil Harvest Rosary is a set of prayer beads with Sanskrit writing on each of them except the main bead, which has a crescent moon. The beads are all black except for one that is purple and has 2 strands of hair connected to it. In Bayonetta 3, it loses most of the beads as it only has 10 now, with 9 black beads with the same symbol on it, and a larger purple bead with a moon on it. The 2 strands of hair are still connected to it. The description goes, magical beads crafted by the witch Ako while in the service of the ancient Japanese queen Himiko. When its user dodges incoming danger, the beads will launch a magical counterstrike against the attacker. While the attack is incredibly powerful, it sucks the emotional strength from its user, stripping them of the ability to activate Witch Time. When you hear the word rosary in the West, most would think of a set of prayer beads in Christianity, mostly used in the Catholic Church. However, the Evil Harvest Rosary resembles Juzu, or Japanese Buddhist prayer beads. Ako may be a reference to Ako-chan, the main character of an early magical girl manga series named Himitsu no Ako-chan. Himiko is a reference to the shamanist queen of Yamatai-koku. Himiko appears and is referenced in Japanese popular culture multiple times, sometimes as a wise figure and other times as a witch or sorceress. The concept art mentions that the Evil Harvest Rosary has 108 beads. 108 beads is a common number of beads for Buddhist prayer beads. These loops of prayer beads are found in multiple other dharmic religions such as Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism and are called Japamala. 108 has special meaning in dharmic religions for Buddhism. It represents the 108 possible dharmas or phenomena. The concept art states that it references the 108 earthly desires. This is a reference to the 108 temptations Buddhists must overcome to reach nirvana. Written on each of the beads are Sanskrit seed syllables, or bija, written in a demonic stylized version of Siddham's script. There are 7 different characters shown, but they represent the 8 protectors of the zodiac as shown with this chart. Shiro Amakusa was said to fear the witches of Japan. Amakusa Shiro was the leader of the Shambara Rebellion, an uprising of Roman Catholics against the shogunate. His rebellion failed and he was executed at 17. The Gaze of Despair is a bracelet with a mask on it. The mask has red eyes and horns that are holding up a ring. In Bayonetta 3, the earring is the mask with the ring being held up by the horns connected to another ring that connects it to the ear. The description goes, cursed braces containing the soul of Muso Kuroni, an ancient African goddess said to be the goddess of discord. Placing these braces upon one's arms is said to be an affront to Paradiso, summoning upon its wearer the wrath of the heavens. During the witch hunts, the Malinese witch Karaba was forced into these gauntlets, in which she was brutally murdered by angels. This accessory is an unexpected look into the torture the Lumen sages would inflict upon the Umbra during the clan wars. Mentioned in the description is the name Karaba, which comes from a small town of the same name in Mali. It more likely references a 1998 animated film named Kirikou and the Sorceress, or the African folk story it's based on. The antagonist of the movie is a sorceress named Karaba, who is cursed with a thorn causing her to suffer. Her eyes and hair kind of resemble the mask's eyes and spikes. Masks are traditionally used across several groups in Africa for rituals and ceremonies. What the mask part of the Gaze of Despair could reference are the Dogon people, as they're one of the ethnic groups indigenous to Mali. Also mentioned in the description is Muso Kuroni. She comes from the Bambara people's belief of the creation of the universe. The Bambara people are an ethnic group native to West Africa, which includes southern Mali. Anyway, the legend as it relates to Muso Kuroni goes, a figure named Pemba created the earth and mixed his saliva with dust and created his wife Muso Kuroni. Muso Kuroni buried Pemba after jealousy arose over his growing power, and she then wandered the earth spreading discord and misery. So this is a short version of the story, but I recommend watching the video I linked in the description, so you can hear more about it. The concept art also makes reference to Muso Kuroni and shows that the mask was meant to be a wood carving based on her. Something I haven't mentioned, but I encourage you all to notice the little design notes from Ikumi Nakamura where she talks about some of her thought processes when designing these accessories. The Moon of Mahaa-Kalaa is a gold brace with a version of the Umbran magic circle in it, with spikes surrounding it. This version has hands with moons on the palm and eyelids on the eye symbol. It has 4 lines on it equally spaced from each other. In Bayonetta 3, the earring is only the Umbran circle with spikes surrounding it being held by a chain attached to a pin. The description goes, braces blessed by Shiva, the Indian goddess of destruction. Said to have been crafted by the witch Yaxi while serving the Vijayanagara Empire. Legend states that the braces have the power to repel an enemy's attack. Yaxi was purported to have been invincible as her mastery of this technique allowed her to nullify any attack no matter what the strength. To those with sharp eyes, you can tell that the symbol on the Moon of Mahaa-Kalaa is the same symbol when Bayonetta performs a parry. The name Mahaa-Kalaa comes from Mahaa-Kalaa, a deity in Hinduism and Tantric Buddhism. In Hinduism, he is a fierce manifestation of the Hindu god Shiva and consort of the goddess of time and death, Mahaa-Kali. In Buddhism, he is regarded as the sacred Dharmapala, or the protector of the Dharma. More on Shiva. Shiva is one of the principal deities of Hinduism and is the god of destruction. Shiva bears a crescent moon on his head. He is considered the supreme being in Shaivism, which is a tradition within Hinduism. The witch Yaxi is a reference to a Yakshini. Yakshinis or Yaxi are female nature spirits in Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain religious mythologies. The Vijayanagara Empire was established in 1336 and was made up of what is currently South India. The concept art shows Nakamura was trying to give as much of an Indian flair to the accessory as possible. It also shows it's based on a shield as well as an Umbran magic circle. The Star of Dinéta is a silver brace with 5 golden feathers extending from it. In the center of the brace is a turquoise gem. In Bayonetta 3, nothing changes except for the obvious post added to make it an earring, but also the silver looks more polished and the feathers have a more cream color than before. The description goes, American Navajo legend states that these braces are crafted by the witch known as Yino Dushi. They allow their user to replenish their vitality by taunting an enemy. Turquoise, shunned as a source of magical power, is still in use today in Navajo talismans. The Star of Dinéta is named after Dinéta, the traditional homeland of the Navajo tribe. The word Dinéta means among the people or among the Navajo. Dine is the Navajo word that refers to the Navajo people, or just people in general. And Ta means among, through, or in the area of. In the description, it names a witch called Yino Dushi. A Yino Dushi, or Yinaud Lushi, is a type of skinwalker and is a dangerous Navajo witch with the ability to transform into or possess an animal. The concept art shows that the turquoise is there to infuse the wearer with endurance. In Navajo culture, turquoise is linked to protection and health, which explains its connection in-game to increasing vitality. It is also shown that the feathers are falcon feathers to offer speed. In various cultures, falcon feathers do symbolize speed. The Eternal Testimony is a bracelet made of bones and feathers with chains with gems dangling from it. In Bayonetta 3, the bones and feathers are held up by the tip of the beak on a chain. The description goes, a treasured article worn only by the elders of the Umbra witches. These bracelets are both incredibly powerful and symbols of status. Said to have been crafted by the ancient and universally feared witch Queen Aizen, slipping this onto one's arms would allow one to regenerate their magical powers. Legend states that the strange crow's head on the braces is actually Aizen transformed, and she will severely punish anyone who attempts to use the braces that she deems unworthy. The witch queen Aizen's name is likely a reference to the deity Ragaraja or Aizen Myo-o from esoteric and Vajrayana Buddhist traditions. The deity is male and is revered for transforming worldly lust into spiritual awakening. In the Bayonetta series, crows are seen in each game as familiars carrying the Umbran Tears of Blood, only recently adding black cats and toads. Umbran Tears of Blood are exactly what they say they are, crystallized blood-stained tears of the persecuted Umbra. Crows and ravens are black birds who have had significant symbolism as omens or magical sources. This is expanded upon within the concept art and Antonio's notebook where it says crows have long been said to have been servants of witches. It also says here that the accessory was made from a murder of crows. A murder in this context simply means a group of crows. The Bracelet of Time is a silver watch with a band that looks like a gripping hand. The watch face is golden and it's an analog watch. In Bayonetta 3, its name changes and is named the Earring of Time. As an earring, the color difference in the watch face is more pronounced and it's a hoop earring. The description goes, Eva, a truly extraordinary witch, entered into contract with a legendary Dark Knight, and then faced the amassed armies of Inferno. These bracelets were made by her hand, and those wearing them are said to become true masters of witchcraft, able to control witch time at their very will. In Bayonetta 3, the description changes to say whoever uses it has a greater understanding instead of being masters at will, since you can no longer use witch time at will. The description heavily references the Devil May Cry series. Eva is Dante and Virgil's human mother, but this game recontextualizes her as an Umbra witch. The legendary Dark Knight Sparta is her husband and the father of Dante and Virgil. He was a demon who in Devil May Cry defeated the Dark Emperor Mundus and his legions alone. However, in Bayonetta, Eva plays a bigger part in this as it is claimed that she also took part in the defeat of Mundus and his armies. Even without this concept art, it's pretty obvious that the bracelet and earring of time are very clear visual references to the Bangle of Time. The Bangle of Time has a skeletal motif and allows Dante to stop time for nearby enemies. This was inspired by the time-stopping abilities of the world from the manga JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The concept art also shows it's based on something else. If you're a fan of Platinum Games or just know its history, you may know of its predecessor Clover Studio, a Japanese video game dev studio founded by Capcom that has since been dissolved into it. One of the games it is known for is Beautiful Joe. The other basis for the Bracelet of Time visible on the face is the V-Watch from Beautiful Joe. This watch allows Joe to transform into his hero form Beautiful Joe. The Immortal Marionette is a gold chain featuring a marionette on the center. It does not change appearance at all in Bayonetta 3 as it's always equipped on Bayonetta's leg in all games. The description goes, nicknamed Bloody for her ruthless tactics in battle, these decorative braces were crafted by the feared witch Mary. Especially proficient at fighting, Mary was said to unleash her techniques like an unstoppable flowing river. Those who wear these braces are said to become masterful fighters as if they were marionettes being controlled by Mary herself. A marionette is a puppet that is controlled using wires or strings from above. The Immortal Marionette resembles the marionette enemies from Devil May Cry, specifically Bloody Mary, the strongest variant. The description is a possible reference to two figures. The first figure is Mary Tudor or Mary I, who is referred to as Bloody Mary. She was the first Queen of England to rule in her own right, and her nickname comes from how she had over 300 religious dissenters burnt at the stake. The second figure would be Bloody Mary, who is some sort of phantom or spirit that in some legends can cause her summoner to suffer in some way at the cost of revealing the future. The concept art shows that it was once designed as a bracelet. The bracelet resembles two controls or cross braces of a marionette holding up the marionette in between. Sergey's Lover is a collection of nesting dolls attached to a brace decorated with a ribbon. It does not reappear after the first Bayonetta. The description goes, made by Matryona, a witch from the Principality of Moscow. This brace allows the user to call upon the strength of the demon to which they are contracted and divide themselves into multiple beings. By using this treasured item, Matryona was able to face several foes at once during battle. Her exploits have recently come back into vogue, leading her to become the model for the Russian Matryoshka folk dolls. Russian nesting dolls are also known as Matryoshka dolls. The first of them was made in 1890 by Vasily Zivy-Ostoshkin and designed by Sergey Malyutin. Sergey's Lover may be a reference to Catherine the Great, the reigning Empress of Russia from 1762 to 1796. She took on many lovers throughout her reign. Her first one after arriving in Russia was Sergey Saltykov. Sergey had a wife named Matryona. The Matryona from the description may be a reference to Matrona Nikonova. She is a canonized saint of the Russian Orthodox Church and is known as Matrona of Moscow. The concept art shows that designs are in-game nods to Russian Umbra witches, with them resembling the Umbran Elder. The smallest doll does not have a mask like the bigger ones. In this entry, it is explained that the designs of the weapons were an afterthought to the gameplay aspect, but Nakamura came up with the idea of making the accessories based on witches from various countries and times, which helped add depth to the world. The Climax Brace is a bracelet with two galaxies displayed on it, forming an infinity symbol. In Bayonetta 3, the Climax Brace is known as the Climax Earring and does not change in appearance outside of becoming an earring. The description goes, a mysterious treasure that pushes all who use it to a climax in power. Where, when, and how it was made all remain a mystery. However, it is said to have come from a different dimension. Its incredible power is feared both by angels and demons, who have reached the mutual understanding that its power is not to be unleashed on the battlefield, no matter what conflict arises. In the first Bayonetta, the Climax Brace puts Bayonetta in the serious mode scene when fighting a boss, giving her wicked weaves for every attack. In Bayonetta 2, it gives Bayonetta unlimited magic, which allows her to use Umbra and Climax whenever the player feels like it. In Bayonetta 3, the Climax Earring gives unlimited magic, and the Masquerade Rage meter is always full. The Climax Brace was designed based on the hourglasses found in the first Bayonetta. The material is similar, and the galaxy scene is also referenced in its design. The design being an infinity symbol, along with being named the Climax Brace, could reference or be a reference for Infinite Climax Mode, the hardest difficulty in the game. It could also simply just be to symbolize infinite power. The Earrings of Ruin are a pair of gold crescent-shaped earrings featuring the Umbran symbol with a red gem in the center. Dangling off it is a small gold chain with a red tear-shaped gem. It does not reappear in Bayonetta 3. The description goes, Crescent earrings given to frontline Umbran fighters by the clan's elder. Witches who wore these earrings were permitted their own magic-powered war machine, Umbran Armor. Umbran Armor can be summoned anywhere the user pleases, but as it consumes a massive amount of magic energy, it is said that even the most powerful witches are unable to perform an Umbran Climax while it is in use. Despite being a sort of predecessor to the earrings in Bayonetta 3, this accessory does not make a return, and it's replaced with the special move of the Umbran Clock Tower. The concept art shows that its design correlates with the Umbran Armor. For example, the red gems on the earrings match the red gems on the armor, or that the crescent shape appears on both of their designs. Unlike all other accessories, this one appears on both sides no matter what. The Climax Brace 2 is another Climax Brace exclusive to Bayonetta 2. It is a black and gold brace with red loops with dark blue orbs with red writing on each. The center has an aquamarine orb, and the sides have green bundles of string dangling off. Underneath all this is a gold Umbran circle. The description goes, a mysterious treasure that pushes all who have reached the climax in power to newfound heights. It is made with the same materials as the Climax Brace, but who made it and when is uncertain. This bracelet has the ability to transform your stored magic power to its true potential. The special jewel embedded in its center will strengthen your infernal weaves. Be careful, however, as controlling infernal demons in this state will come at a sacrifice to your defensive powers. The concept art shows that the 4 symbols on the orbs are references to the 4 symbols, which are also known as the 4 guardians or 4 auspicious beasts. This one represents the black tortoise of the north, this one represents the azure dragon of the east, this one represents the vermilion bird of the south, and this one represents the white tiger of the west. The Mallet of Rewards is a dark purple mallet with red ribbons attached to a brace. It is also decorated with silver bells. In Bayonetta 3, the mallet is more visible and it's dangling from a gold spheroid. The silver bells still adorn the accessory. The description goes, a rare artifact created in the Eastern Lands by a chivalrous thief and lone witch by the name of Akuni. Those making their livings through wrongdoings need only wear this and all hidden wealth will be revealed when going about their treasure hunting. The mallet is a reference to the golden mallet wielded by Daikoku-ten, who in the medieval period in Japan became conflated with the native kami Okuni Nushi, since the first 2 characters of the name can be read Daikoku. The witch mentioned in the description is a reference to Izumo no Okuni, who is a Japanese entertainer and shrine maiden who is believed to have invented the theatrical art form of kabuki. Kabuki is a form of Japanese theater where dramatic performances are mixed with traditional dance. The concept art shows that it uses a traditional decorative technique known as raden. Raden is the technique of embedding the mother of pearl of shellfish in lacquer. The Ragewolf Fang is essentially Climax Brace 3 in concept. It shares a lot with the Climax Brace 2, it has a gold base, dark blue orbs with writing on them, the aquamarine gem in the center, and the green bundles of string dangling off it from the sides. The main difference is that now it's an earring like most of the other accessories in Bayonetta 3. It also has gray ribbon braids instead of red ones. The description goes, a mysterious earring said to have been crafted by a witch whose battlefield exploits were awe-inspiring, and who led an elite corps armed with ash spears during the later Ming Dynasty. Believed to be made from fallen shards of the Climax Brace, this treasure that pushes all who have reached the climax in power to newfound heights. Upon closer look, even the earring part is the same as the Climax Brace 2's main body. The description may be loosely referencing the Wuxia novel Bai Fa Mong Yu Chuan. The novel is set in 17th century China towards the end of the Ming Dynasty. The name of the novel translated to English is The White-Haired Witch. It focuses on Lian Nichang, a bandit leader who is nicknamed Jade Raksasha. She was a legendary vigilante and a brutal swordswoman. The Nucleus of Talos is an ear climber earring that is gold with purple accents. Dangling off the ear is what looks like a purple globe wrapped in a gold cage. There are 3 red spikes on the top. The description goes, a unique treasure said to have been created by the witch Medea from the power core of Talos, defender of Crete, after defeating it during a sojourn to the island. The wearer of this earring can easily make allies of demons they summon, even if they cannot use the demon slave art, leading to its frequent use in training and the use of various magic arts. The Nucleus of Talos is another way to refer to the power core, since a nucleus is the center and most important part of an object. Talos in Greek mythology was an automaton created by Hephaestus, the god of technology, to protect Europa. The description refers to a witch named Medea. Medea is from Greek mythology and she's a princess and sorceress of Colchis. She appears in the Argonautica where she defeats the giant Talos on the island of Crete, while assisting the Greek hero Jason out of love. The power core Medea uses to make the earring could be ichor, an ethereal gold liquid that is the blood of the gods and was used to power Talos. The concept art shows that the metal parts were meant to be bronze. This is because Talos was originally made of bronze. It also points out the top of it is meant to change the silhouette of the ear. Most of the new accessories do this. The Hymn of Durga is an ear climber earring that has a white conch shell design at the bottom with pink tassels near the top. The description goes, this artifact is crafted by ancient inhabitants of India's Deccan Plateau, who sealed away the sound of the conch shell carried by the warrior goddess Durga, which she used to enkindle the fighting spirit of those going into battle. Summoning while wearing this will fill the demon that appears with aggression bordering on rage, and while useful in battle, the risk to the summoner is significant and many unprepared witches have fallen victim to their servants. A hymn is a religious song or poem of praise to a god which fits the whole sound theme the accessory is going for. Durga is the goddess of strength and protection in Hinduism. The name could reference the first hymn of reverence for Devi, the feminine nature of God, which was in a hymn in the 10th mandala of the Rig Veda. The conch shell written about in the description and in the design is known as a shankha. A shankha has religious ritual importance in Hinduism and is made from any suitable sea snail. However, the most well-known of these snails is the Turbinella pyrum, also known as the divine conch. They are mainly found in the Indian Ocean. The concept art shows the sound being emitted from the accessory, and says it is only audible to demons since it can't be heard by human ears. It also says that the metal attached to the tassels is made of brass. The Conqueror's reins are a unicorn-shaped earring with the reins on the unicorn head rising up the ear and designed like ribbons with flowers on it. It has a red tassel on the bottom of the head. The description goes, this charm is said to have been created using the favored reins of the legendary warrior witch Tomoe Gosen, who reigned over the battlefield and was capable of taming even the most ill-tempered stallion in mere moments. This earring places demons summoned by the wearer into a state of calm, and those controlled via demon slave will not break from the wearer's control. Tomoe Gosen was an Onamusha, or female warrior from the late Heian period. Her story and the tale of Heike influenced several generations of samurai. She is said to have beheaded the leader of the Musashi clan in the Battle of Awazu in 1184, and then presented it to her master Yoshinaka. The concept art shows that the detailing at the top of the Conqueror's reins represents kanzashi. Kanzashi are hair ornaments used in traditional Japanese hairstyles. The type of kanzashi used in the accessory are sumami kanzashi, which are kanzashi made of squares of dyed or painted silk folded into shapes to represent animals, plants, and flowers. Thank you all so much for your patience while this video was in the works. Like I said in the beginning, I have had some personal stuff come up, but now I'm easing through it better, and I'm going to try to be more regular on this channel. I appreciate all of you for your viewership and your support. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time.